read, I had the singular privilege of welcoming to the Jubilee House this afternoon Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as Nam1 of Men's Gold and Xylophone Music. It was quite inspiring listening to his success story and his impact on the youth of our country. Ghana is working again. This was the comment made by President Akufo-Addo on his Twitter handle after he met with Nam1.
The only thing is that even though we saw this tweet and the photograph, we cannot verify if that is the president handle. So go on.
I agree, but I'm telling you,
we TV3 cannot verify.
In fact, the president has pulled down this tweet. He has pulled down this tweet. Nam1 also on that day, on his Facebook and Instagram account, stated that Akufo-Addo has been a major inspiration behind my success. And so when you give a tacit approval, when the public sees that this man running Men's Gold has the approval of the president was seen endorsing his business, most Ghanaians ran to invest their monies with him. In fact, university lecturers who have taught for over 40 years took their pension funds and went to invest at Men's Gold. Ghanaian citizens have gone for loans at very high interest rates and goes to invest those monies with Men's Gold, simply because they were convinced that Men's Gold was doing a legal business. Men's Gold was not engaged in anything wrong, because the #1 citizen of this country, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, has given a tacit approval to what he was engaged in. In fact, right after that, appointees of this government, a very clear example being the Minister for Tourism, was seen in public with Nam1 all over. And so that approval increased their customer base. In fact, about 90% of the current customer base of Men's Gold came after his meeting with the president. And so we are also looking at the quantum of the problem.
Okay.
We are also looking at the quantum of
that's what you know.
We are also talking about the quantum of the problem. That in 2016, Men's Bank had a customer base of less than 20,000. Today we are talking about 1.8 million customers of Men's Gold. And you see, Bright, it is interesting. Look, government cannot absolve itself from the mess that they have created. That's why you are talking about what is good for the goose is good for the gander. DKM, you have forgotten that President Mahama or any of his family relatives had nothing to do with DKM. There was no family member of President Mahama working with DKM, but you hanged him and the NDC with DKM. Today, you have no problem, and you think we should extricate you when you know that the nephew of the president, who was the PRO of Men's Gold, is today their lawyer. That we have no problem with, and you think we should...
That's his private...
I agree with you. Yeah. Circumstantial evidence. Right? I've just told you that no relative of President Mahama had anything to do with DKM. But you hanged him with it. You linked it to the former First Lady. Today, the nephew of the President, Kwame Akufo, who was the PRO and defended Men's Gold everywhere in this country, is today their lawyer. And that we think that we should...
He's a lawyer, not the PRO. He's a lawyer of...
He was their PRO, now their lawyer.
Before becoming a lawyer?
Exactly.
Well, as far as I know,
today, what was the purpose? What was the purpose of the closure? As at the time you were closing down Men's Gold, you told us that the purpose was to save the deposits of the public. Have you saved that? Have you achieved what you wanted to do? Have you saved the deposits of the customers? You haven't. And so you have failed in that attempt. Bright, talking about the arrest warrant. Why? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not sure you are one to. No. But thankfully, my good friend here is a lawyer. A Supreme Court issuing an arrest warrant.
Well, the second from what we
Bright, did you see the arrest warrant on social media or not?
We saw it, but we cannot verify.
The stamp, and that that even exposes you the more.
The stamp is from the second
That even exposes you the more. That you have an arrest warrant from a Supreme Court with a stamp of a circuit court. That even exposes you
I've
more.
indicated here
Oh no,
the standard
no.
Honorable Aziz, maybe our viewers can make their own deductions. He's suggesting that the form is the same. The form is the same everywhere. Okay, so a Supreme Court
that is not true. That is not true.
Honorable Mesa,
that is not true.
Honorable Mesa, you you take your time and explain because you are a lawyer.
I was very quiet.
Help people.
I had a lot of disagreements with what you said, but I was decent enough to listen to you. Just be a gentleman this morning and listen to me.
Give me 1 minute. Honorable Mesa, your suggestion is that the form we saw that has the Supreme Court to IGP and any other, and then blah, 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 the date of the warrant, and then the stamp of a circuit court. You are saying that that is the normal thing.
Absolutely, but because and hold on, for the benefit of our viewers.
You have your
no, you can come back. I don't have a problem. And
if you think it's a normal thing.
And I just wanted to provide some further information. You will see.
You've had your turn.
Honorable Aziz, you give him a minute.
Printed sections on the form,
right, and
then handwritten information filled in on the form. So I'm saying, and the form has a number. I think it's form. I can't recall, and I'm trying to get the copy of the document. I'll get it for you.
Okay,
okay.
So
it's a standard form.
It's a standard everywhere. Okay, all right. Okay, let's move on.
Right.
Okay.
This gentleman, number one, had a police security 24 hours.
You're aware of that?
Oh yes.
You know that?
Oh yes.
Okay.
And Bright, this issue of the arrest warrant, how did the whole thing start? It started yesterday when Gabriel Ochiri-Darku posted that the NAM1 had breached his bail condition and absconded. Not until yesterday did you or anybody in this country know that NAM1 was under arrest and that he was even granted bail. It was never part of the conversation. It was only yesterday when the pressure became unbearable and the MPP was trying to find an escape route, indicated that he was arrested somewhere in August and he was granted bail and he breached the bail condition and absconded. Who was the surety when he was granted the bail? Because this case is so huge for him to give him a bail on his own account. That they would obviously have been a surety. Who was the surety? We want to know. When was he arrested and by who and for what reason? Are you aware that somewhere on August 6, 2018, Bank of Ghana warned the public against the operations of Men's Gold, 2018.
Right, we saw some warnings in the newspapers.
NAM1, on his Instagram account, chastised the Bank of Ghana. It was on that account that he was invited by the Yoko. Today, others say BNI. We don't even know which is which. There's a clear distinction between Yoko and BNI. It was on that account that he was invited by Yoko. It had nothing to do with his operations. Today, when Gabi Ochiri-Darku said he had...
Wrap up for me and then we can still
breached his bail condition. The CID boss, appointed by President Akufo-Addo, came out to say that they had not arrested NAM1 under any circumstance and that he's not part of their records.
Well, later on, she was trying to suggest that she didn't actually say
You see, there's only one truth. There's only one truth. Whether the man was arrested, whether they have him in their records, and that he was granted bail or not, cannot be in dispute. So for the CID boss to have indicated that there was no any arrest of any sort, and later to come back, after some afterthought, trying to rationalize the confusion will not hold. So we want to know that when he was granted bail, who was the surety? And how can you even arrest someone on such serious grounds and you don't seize the person's passport, you don't freeze his accounts, you do virtually nothing to him, and today you are telling us that he's in Nigeria or South Africa. You know where he is.
Let's talk about the deposit of people.
Exactly.
We'll come back.
That's what I'm coming
We'll
to.
come back. John will take some comment and then we'll
That's what I'm
come
coming
back.
to.
Yes, so hold your breath there. We'll take comments and come back to how to retrieve. Should government step in and pay? The arguments have been on and on. Some said government shouldn't use taxes to pay. Others think that government should come in. John, let's take some comments and then we can take a look at that.
Doesn't want to stop talking. On WhatsApp, it says the purported warrant for the arrest of Namwan is a ruse. Why was he allowed to leave the country in the first place? This case will just end up like the Kwesi Nyantakyi case. The CID will pretend to present a report which no one except the president will see, and gradually the case will die a natural death. President Akufo-Addo will never touch Nana Appiah-Mensah, Big Boy, and Somanya alleges. Good morning, TV3. I'd like to plead with the appropriate authority to go to the Ashaman-Temamoto highway. Few walks from the China Mall is now being used as a station for vehicles to load passengers. It's so bad and dangerous for that to be ongoing on the highway. Mr. Clergy in Ashaman is reporting. Give us a heads up. Nana Addo will lose elections if held today because teachers and nurses will not vote for him. MPP deceived graduate nurses that 27,000 nurses were captured in the 2018 budget, but no single nurse was employed. The health minister also deceived not only nurses but TV3 and the general public that clearance had been given to 14,000 nurses. Till now, no one knows what happened. Johnny, get response for us. MS from NABDAM. And good morning, TV3. Is the government of Ghana telling us, we the ordinary Ghanaians, that there are no laws guiding business activities in this country? Then what is the work of the so-called security intelligence units, Lands and Natural and Minerals Commission, Bank of Ghana and SEC? Why should they allow this small boy to defraud numerous number of customers since 2014 up to date? I think some public officials should be resigning by now because they have failed in their line of duty. Raymond Ateba in the northern region of Ghana. JB in Sawam says, facts, Men's Gold did not pay its customers monthly dividends at the end of August 2018. And we should not forget that SEC's letter directing Men's Gold to cease accepting new customers was written on September 7, and the letter got leaked on the 12th day of September 2018. So Men's Gold stopped paying its customers before SEC came into the picture. If you know, you know. I rest my case. Leave president out of this, he wants. Good morning, TV3. University of Ghana Political Science Department always comes out with bogus election survey when this super incompetent Akufo-Addo government is under pressure. Ghanaians are now wise and will not allow lies and deceit of MPP to influence their votes come 2020. The economic hardship under Akufo-Addo is too much. Osman Burkisound in Tamale. Good morning, Bright and Johnny. We're making too much noise regarding the Men's Gold issue. We need more from the authorities to help customers. They are also Ghanaians. Aram, Adenta New Side. More like what? We should pay them with our money? Bright, Johnny, and Senior Bright. The gap between the city-type birthday celebration and the village-type remain the same. City people add pizza to their celebrations as the villagers move from one egg to small sugar drinks. Area Hope Singh in Winneba. The two MPs will confirm this for us shortly. Alaso Anwana says the medical drones have no installed camera, so can't take photos. The medical drones are not like the drones used at the functions. They are small unmanned cargo planes to deliver essential medical and non-medical vaccines, blood and blood products to all health facilities within the catchment range of the distribution center. So how will the command center in Accra or the regional capital monitor the progress of the drone when it's going to deliver? Will it do it by witchcraft? Good morning. I'm sad for the Men's Gold customers. I personally did advise a couple of friends not to invest in there. However, I don't agree with people who say they should be paid with taxpayers' money. Their money is with Namwan, Kweku in Achimota. Good morning, Bright. You people always make my day very active after listening to your breakfast show. Thank you very much. And Men's Gold customers should take heart. They have the right to demand for their locked up money, but burning vehicle tires on highway isn't right. Edem from Kaswawa. Some 7 persons are before court for that. I wonder what we Africans are doing in the Western world. They are trying to research and invent new technology, but here we are busy researching on who will win election. May God help us. Glorious from Kumasi. I've listened to many people on various platforms, and most people invested because they saw Namwan with prominent people in Ghana and being praised to an extent of sponsoring the country's football league. It made people think then it was legitimate business. Sly, Asiwa, Bosumi in Frehel. Then it comes to finally, since Akufo-Addo and Bawumia blamed Mahama for DKM and God is Love saga, then we must equally blame the former for Men's Gold saga. Government must pay all the victims. Emmanuel writes from Sogakope. And finally, Thomas Akugri Zebila. The only language this government understands is demonstration. How can the regulatory authority allow an illegal company to operate and blame depositors for putting their money there? Both the depositors and the regulatory authority should be blamed for this mess caused by Men's Gold. Senior Bright,
John, I'm grateful.
Thank you very much.
We'll go back to how we should deal with this, the issue of the deposit. But quickly, let me speak to the lawyer of one of the customers, Amanda Clinton, just joined the conversation via phone. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing great. Now, a quick reaction to what has just happened. An arrest warrant issued yesterday. Perhaps you leading these customers a bit satisfied?
Yes.
Now, how satisfied are you?
We're grateful to the government of Ghana for taking such steps and moving slowly from the posture of, greedy investors to, treating this as a potential crime that has been committed and wanting to find out more about the operations of Men's Gold.
I see. Let's quickly clear this too. The issue of how many customers Men's Gold has. What is the figure you have?
I mean, literally, our figure is 1.8 million, of people. But, those figures could also be those who we invested. And so, they're considered as a new investor. Do you see what I mean? So the transactions were literally, we're talking about 1.8 million. But quite crucially, this is a public interest issue because it involves very different people in society in terms of from the low to the high. It was like a virus went through society because life savings were wiped off. And so if someone takes even $15,000 from you, the police show up at your doorstep. So why didn't this happen here for an unregulated company who had no alleged, magic formula and was taking $200 million from the public in 5 years? If they had been shut down in the first week, they wouldn't have even raised, $30,000 altogether. But everybody kept on doing reports about them, compiling reports, Bank of Ghana, EOCO, everybody compiled reports saying, we don't like this operation. And yet, when it went to a certain level, in terms of higher up, it just got kicked down and said, oh, well, let's just leave it open. So influence should not be able to buy time in Ghana, basically.
I see. I want to take you back to your figure of 1.8. There is some communication from Men's Gold that it is not actually 1.8 million.
Yes, I mean, some people would argue not, but at the end of the day, it was interesting how their public relations officer said what they say the figure is in terms of people, but didn't dispute the 200 million. Do you see what I mean? So, I mean, we were talking about serious money going through these accounts. Bank of Ghana, even if $1 million goes through your bank account, business or otherwise, Bank of Ghana is automatically notified. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people start looking into it because it's called due diligence. So the PRO of Men's Gold said he disputed what we say are our figures from insiders, but he didn't dispute the amount. And that should tell you a lot. 5 years, 200 million.
Right.
Because it could probably even be higher. That's why he didn't even dispute that amount, because we're talking about serious cash going through this account, and that is why even money laundering charges are potentially being brought. And the CID said money laundering was an issue. Serious money.
Did you report these to the police?
Sorry?
Did you report Men's Gold to the police? Are you the one who reported Men's Gold to the police?
Yes.
Great. Now, you saw the arrest warrant that came in the name of the president. You are a legal mind. Is that a normal thing?
Is it the normal thing to call
for an arrest warrant to come in the name of a president?
It's to come in the name of the president?
Yes.
No, but to say the truth, I think because, you know, the president's people, which is the public, have been crying out to the custodian of the land that, you know, we would really like your comments about this and we're hurting. Perhaps he, from a crisis management perspective, did not want to contradict the finance minister, but also wanted to show that, you know, government has been listening to these cries. And one of the ways you can do that is to, you know, show that government seal was on this, you know, call for the arrest warrant.
All right, let's end it here. Amanda Clinton is the lawyer of one of the customers of some customers of Men's Gold. Now,